Hi everyone, Miss Wilson here. I hope you're ready for chapter 9 of How Winston Came Home for Christmas. Chapter 9, A Dash and a Disaster. You have a mum? Gasped Gaspard. Winston nodded his head slowly. He felt all of a jumble again. He'd seen her kind, lovely face so clearly and had recognised it immediately. He'd known it by heart, but where was she? He knew, just knew she was out there somewhere. The mice put their heads together. There were new clues now. The peppermint was a mystery, but the rustling paper sounds. Were you born in a bookshop? Asked the mouse, her large necklace of sugared almonds jangling in excitement. There's that lovely one down by the river. I sneak in there for the recipe books. Winston certainly liked the sound of that, but the problem was the mysterious language. He just had a strong feeling, that she wasn't from Paris. A tiny mouse pushed his way to the front of the group. He was wearing large spectacles that kept sliding down his nose. Excuse me, he squeaked, bowing politely. My name is Louis Millefleur, and I have a friend who lives in an enormous library with 1,000 books in hundreds of languages. I think she could help you with the language your mum is singing. Winston's cheeks flushed pink with excitement. Is the library nearby? He asked. Ah, said Louis. Well, you see, the library is actually in Germany. Winston let out a tiny groan. Germany? That's a whole other country, and a big country at that. That meant another long journey, and he didn't have an envelope to write in this time. How would he get there? Everyone thought very hard, but it was Coco who came up with a solution. This bakery is very famous, and it sends its macaroons all over the world. Look. She pointed to the towering pile of a macaroon gift box in the corner. They were mint green with swirly gold writing on them. We could pop you in one of those and send you straight to the library. And, added Louis, you could deliver some cakes to my friend for me. Winston thought it was a marvellous idea, but will I make it to the post office before the post leaves? He flustered. None, said the ginger-coloured mouse who worked in the pastry near the post office. The post left hours ago, but you could always get the train. A big train loaded with goods leaves for Germany in about 20 minutes. Winston was in a tears. How could he make it to the train if he had to run there in a giant box? Suddenly, Gaspard leaped to his feet. He flicked his ears back, stuck out his lilac chest, and a very grand voice said, I will take you. His eyes were sparkling with the thrill of an adventure. The mice cheered and set to work. Within a few moments, Winston found himself tucked neatly into a macaroon box, which had been piled with cakes for the journey. An address was hastily written on the top, and then it was time to leave. He said his goodbyes from inside the box, and then Gaspard set off, out through the window and onto the streets. Gaspard ran as fast as his little lilac legs could take him, through the air holes popped into his box. Winston felt the chill of the icy air and heard slushy snow splash as Gaspard raced through it. His fur must be filthy, Winston thought, but he knew Gaspard wouldn't mind. This is what friends had been dreaming of doing, and he wanted a high-speed chase through the night. Soon, Gaspard bounded through the train station doors and slid widely across the polished floor, skidding and zigzagging through the crowds. There it is, squeaked Winston, peering out of his box. Gaspard ran towards the train, but as he did, he started to pull away. Spotting that one of the doors was still slightly open, the poodle threw the macaroon box up in the air and kicked it with his back paws, hurling the box towards the train. Winston twirled around and round before landing with a thud on top of the crate on the last carriage. In the distance, Gaspard barked au revoir, and his little body fizzed out of sight with delight. Winston carefully opened the box and stuck his head out to enjoy the crisp air streaming in from the gap in the door. All around him were crates filled to the brim with brown paper packages tied up with string. Winston marvelled at them, thinking how each parcel had been picked and wrapped and sent to someone special who was cared about. Then, suddenly, his heart filled with wonder at the thought that he now had someone special who cared for him too. Oliver and his mum. Perhaps he had a whole family that he didn't know about as well. Winston thought about this as he munched his way through the treats the mice had given him to snack on. Then, lulled by the rumbling motion of the train, he finally fell asleep. The following morning, Winston awoke as the train pulled into a new station. The crate in which he was riding was lifted down and the parcels sorted into huge bags. Winston felt excited that he would soon solve his very curious mystery. Then disaster happened. In the bustle of the station, someone bumped into the sack holding Winston's box. It fell over and the parcels split out everywhere. A flustered man hurried to pick them up, but before he could grab the little macaroon box, it was accidentally kicked and sent skidding across the busy station floor. It crashed into a shadowy corner by some bins and Winston tumbled out. He started to panic. How could he get delivered to the library now? Suddenly he heard something move behind him. He turned around and squeaked in alarm. From the darkness, he was being watched by two beady amber eyes. Tune in tomorrow for chapter 10. Bye!